Welcome to the Wisdom That Breathes channel. Across all our platforms, we try to share wisdom which is relevant and accessible to everyone. But on this particular platform, we go deeper into some of the ancient principles found within the scriptures. If you find some of the terminology difficult or inaccessible, then go over to our Keshava Swami YouTube channel where you'll be able to find other content which is perhaps more relatable. Thank you and enjoy the wisdom that breathes.
Hare Krishna everyone. As you can see, as you can probably hear, we are in the holy land of Sri Vrindavan, and specifically here we're in Nandagram. I'm actually in Vrindavan for 1 month and we're walking every single day. And I'm really happy today. Normally every time I'm on an interview I'm giving answers. When we come to Vrindavan as students, Vrindavan is the school of love, the university of love, and therefore everyone comes here as a student. And so I'm so happy to be joined by Krishna Murari Goswami, one of the Sevites, the servants here in Nanda Bhavan, one of the oldest temples in Vrindavan. And I'll be asking him different questions about Vrindavan, about Bhakti, about himself, and I hope it will be interesting and enlivening for you. So thank you so much, Maharajji, for being with us.
Always my pleasure, Maharaj, to share something about what Braj really is.
And let's maybe perhaps begin there. If you were to describe Vrindavan to someone who knew nothing about Vrindavan, what it is, where it is, what it means, in a very short way, how would you describe Vrindavan?
It is said when the Lord appears as waters, He is the water of Ganga. When He appears as a book, He is Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam Himself. When the Lord appears as mantra, He is the Maha Mantra. And when the Lord Himself appears as a place, He is Vrindavan Himself. Vyapakam Braj Uchyate, as Krishna or the Supreme Lord is omnipresent. In the same way, He appears in this world as Braj, as this land of Vrindavan, as this land of Braj, where He played and where He plays His pastimes in India, in Vrindavan.
Wow, so in one sense, Vrindavan and Krishna are non-different.
They are non-different. It is mentioned in Sri Vrindavan Mahimamrita, Yatra Pravishto Shakalopi Jantu. If someone leaves his life and enters into the Nitya Leela of Krishna, into the pastimes of Krishna, or when one reaches Krishna, or when one reaches Vrindavan, the same thing is happening. Yatra Pravishto Shakalopi Jantu, Anand Satchidananda Ghanatam Upiyati. He receives immense bliss just by attaining Krishna or just by coming to Vrindavan. He receives immense bliss. Satchidananda Ghanatam Upiyati. He receives that. So Vrindavan and Krishna Himself, they are non-different. They are the same person in themselves.
And you've been living here your whole life and you see so many pilgrims coming. How does Vrindavan change them?
It is said that situations can change people, time can change people, people can change people, places can change people, life or circumstances in life can also change people. And Vrindavan is definitely a place which can really change people. It's a mystical place where miracle is a very small word. So in Vrindavan itself is a place which can really change people. And in Vrindavan you meet different people who are so extraordinary in their bhakti that they can really change people. In Vrindavan, Bhakti Devi herself, or the personification of spiritual life herself, is dancing out of great joy because of eternal presence of Krishna in this land of Vrindavan, in this land of Braj. Vrindavan barsat rahe prem ahir nish bhor. In Braj, the love of Krishna. The love of Krishna is always raining since morning to the next morning. It's never stopping. So Krishna's or the presence of the Supreme Lord can be very easily felt by coming to Vrindavan. And that's why when one person touches that divine aspect or divine vibes of Vrindavan, the heart of a person starts feeling those divine vibrations. That divinity really touches upon the heart of the person, and that's how the heart of the person starts changing just by coming to Vrindavan, just by coming to Braj.
Yeah, it's poetically said, in Vrindavan every step is a dance, every word is a song, and another one that I've heard from you today is every day is a miracle. And they do say, I lost my heart in Vrindavan. So it's the place which captures your heart.
Vrindavan is not a place for the mind. It's a place for the heart. If we say in a very good poetic way that Vrindavan is not a physical place located somewhere in North India. It's not that. It's an occupational space. It's a space which occupies space in your heart, wherever you think about it, wherever you hear about it, wherever you remember it. As soon as you think about Vrindavan, it occupies space in yourself, it occupies space in your heart, and that is the real nature of Vrindavan. It's not limited. We definitely respect the fact that Vrindavan is somewhere in North India, where so many great ancient temples are there, but the eternal Swarup of Vrindavan is a place which occupies space in our hearts, wherever we hear about it, wherever we talk about it.
I think the enthusiasm that Maharaji is speaking with is infectious. And one thing I do want to ask you is, after hearing about Vrindavan, one of our spiritual searchers from London came to Vrindavan with great anticipation, with great hope, with great wonder. And they arrived, and after 1 week they felt as though they were struggling. It was difficult. They didn't feel as though they were spiritually making any progress. They felt they were only seeing the externals and not really nourishing their bhakti. What about those people who come to Vrindavan and are sincere, but sometimes don't feel that connection, that spiritual enthusiasm that you described?
Actually, the spiritual life of a person is like a process. For example, there is a process. How does a small creature or a small insect, like a cocoon, turns into a butterfly? There's a process, and the spiritual life of a person is also a process. It's not like a chemical formula. If you put Na plus chloride, you'll definitely get a salt. It's not like that. It differs from person to person, because we ourselves are normal, different. Each one of us is a different being, and the same process might take some time for one and some more time for another one. So there's a hardcore covering which a cocoon has to break into to fly. So when a person comes on pilgrimage, when a person comes to a dham like Vrindavan Dham, he has to come out of his comfort zone. And when that shell of comfort zone breaks out, or when the shell of anarthas or reservations which we have in our heart, that I just want to do that, not more than that. But when that hardcore shell of our pre-assumed assumptions or feelings, when that lets loose, when that breaks off, then the cocoon can fly, then he can have wings, then he can realize, then he can have the shower of mercy which is always present in Vrindavan. Then he feels even a single word, when someone just sings something wonderful in front of him, he feels so touching, that what a beautiful way that another person has sung for him. Each small word will make so much different meaning to the person when that mercy can be realized by someone.
Yes, so please remember this, even if you come to Vrindavan and you feel like it's sometimes a struggle, it's a good struggle. And nobody returns from Vrindavan back to their home the same person. You're always a changed person.
It is said, Nagariya Brajabas Kripa Phal Paiye. Even a single momentary residence in Vrindavan is received because of mercy. You cannot just book a plane ticket from London and check in into the airport and come to Vrindavan. You need much more than that, and you need the ticket of mercy. The ticket of mercy is the basis by which you can come to Vrindavan. And when you come to Vrindavan, for example, if you board a plane, you need to show the visa, you need to have the boarding pass. So the boarding pass or for checking into Vrindavan, the two aspects are there. First is Shraddha, faith, and the second thing is Sharanagati. You have to surrender to Vrindavan. You know, until or unless a patient surrenders to the doctor that I am suffering, I am definitely suffering from this disease. Oh doctor, I surrender to you. Now you please take care. When Shraddha and Sharanagati is not there, you can't board the plane. So in the same way, when you come to Vrindavan, when you come to Braj, if you have Shraddha, faith and Sharanagati, surrender to Vrindavan, that I have heard Vrindavan brings up miracles into the life of people, and may, O Vrindavan, please also accept me as yours. I am a patient into your good hospital and I want to be cured of my material sensations and my material life and everything, and I want to definitely return a different person. That's how Vrindavan cures a person.
Goswami ji is also a travel agent. I want to ask you a technical question. Where is Vrindavan actually? Because sometimes we talk about Vrindavan Parikrama, where we circumambulate the main Goswami temples. Then we talk about the forest of Vrindavan, which is one of the 12 forests. Then sometimes the whole of Brajamandal is called Vrindavan. And then sometimes we say Vrindavan is a state of consciousness. You said it's not a physical space. So what is actually Vrindavan? Is it all of these? Is it one of these? Is it...
Actually, the word Vrindavan in its essence is used in many ways for expressing one common thing. Vrindavan is the land of Krishna, where Krishna performed his pastimes. Before going into the depth of Vrindavan's understanding, I want to explain you about the whole area, the whole place where Krishna performed his pastimes 5,000 years before is known as Braj. And the whole area of Braj is spread about 84 miles length and breadth. The 84-mile space is known as Braj. And inside Braj, there are different forests and different sub-forests. There are prominently 12 forests, which are, out of them 6 are located on the eastern bank of Yamuna and 6 are located on the western bank of Yamuna. And Sri Vrindavan is one of the prime forests out of those 12 forests. Apart from those 12 forests, there are 12 sub-forests like Kokilavan, Gehvarvan, Peshavavan. So these are different sub-forests. There are also 56 kunjas, there are 56 Rasasthalis, there are 12 Maharasasthalis. So there are different places in the whole area of Braj. But Vrindavan is one of the prime forests where Krishna performs his pastime. Apart from that, Krishna did not live inside a forest, inside a secluded forest. He lived in a village area. Krishna was born into the jail of Kamsa. Then he was brought from Mathura to Gokul, to the village of Gokul, which is just on the other side of Mathura, on the side of Yamuna is Gokul. And Krishna, along with Nanda Maharaj and the whole village of Brajabasis, he lived there for 2 years and 3 days. And he lived there And when the demons of Kamsa started disturbing them, the whole village of Gokul, they wanted to find a different place where they are protected. So they shifted from Gokul, from the village of Gokul, to the area where we are sitting now, to the village of Nandagram. And today Nandagram is 56 kilometers, about 56 kilometers away from Mathura. Many devotees understand that Krishna came from the village of Gokul to Vrindavan. And Vrindavan is just 10 kilometers away, almost the same in distance away from Mathura as Gokul is. So Krishna shifted from the village of Gokul not to Vrindavan, but he shifted himself to the village of Nandagram. On this hill, the place where we are sitting now is Nanda Bhavan, the same space where the house of Nanda Maharaj was. So here he lived. From here he went to Vrindavan, from here he went to Govardhan, from here he went to Bahulavan, from here he went to different places to perform his pastimes. According to Sri Narayana Bhatta Goswami, Narayana Bhatta Goswami was a great sadhu in Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara, and he is said to be Braj Acharya, who had immense knowledge about Braj. He says that there are, inside the space of Braj, there are different places. He says there is one Vrindavan, there is the forest of Vrindavan, there is Adi Vrindavan. Adi Vrindavan means, Adi means old, the old area of Vrindavan, which still looks like the old area of Vrindavan. That area is the area of Kamyavan. Then he quotes that there is also Nij Vrindavan. Nij means close area of Vrindavan. Nij Vrindavan is the space, Nija Vrindavanam yatra Nanda Vrashabhanu Graham tatra. Nij Vrindavan is the space where the house of Nanda and Vrashabhanu Maharaj is, which means Nij Vrindavan is the area where house of Nanda Maharaj is there in Nandagram, and where Barsana is there, where the house of Vrashabhanu Maharaj is there. And there is a specific sub-forest near those two villages. Near Nandagram is the forest area known as Khadirvan, and near Barsana is the forest area known as Gehvarvan. So this is Nij Vrindavan area according to him. Then there is area known as Madhya Vrindavan. Madhya means central area of Vrindavan, central area of Braj, which is the area of Govardhan hill, as Govardhan is said to be the center area of the whole Vrindavan, the whole Braj area. And Govardhan area is also said to be like the heart of Braj. For example, if the whole area of Braj is like a body of a person, the area of Govardhan is like the heart, the central heart of the person. So Vrindavan is quoted as the forest of Vrindavan, but in today's modern times, or in these recent times, Vrindavan has been preached or has been expressed or used as a word which is collaborative of the whole space, the whole area of Braj where Krishna performed his pastimes. When the great grandson of Krishna, Sri Vajranabh, when Krishna left this world, although Krishna never leaves the area of Vrindavan, but in his physical appearance when he went away from this forest area of Braj, the great grandson of Krishna wanted to re-establish the legacy of his great grandfather. So he wanted to re-establish the places where his great grandfather performed pastimes. So at that point of time, he had a consultation with Shandila Muni, who was a contemporary of Krishna, who was like a family priest of Krishna himself. So Shandila Muni asked him to re-establish the prominent villages where Krishna lived or performed pastimes. It is mentioned in the glorification of Srimad Bhagavatam in Skanda Purana. In Skanda Purana, there is Shri Bhagavat Mahatmya, or the glorification of Bhagavat Mahatmya, where there is this beautiful conversation between Shandila Muni, Parikshit Maharaj and Sri Vajranabh. And when Sri Vajranabh is asking when Sri Vajranabh is asking Shandil Muni that how do I recognize the places where my great grandfather had done Leelas. So Shandil Muni asked him to re-establish those villages. And at that point of time, 5,000 years before, Vajranabh re-established some of the prominent villages. The villages were Govardhane. The village of Govardhan was re-inhabited by him. Dirghapure, the village is known as Digh today, which is near Govardhan, to 20 kilometers from Govardhan. Govardhane, Dirghapure, Mathurayam Mahavane. He re-established or re-inhabited the city of Mathura and the area of Gokul and Mahavan. Nandigrame Brahatsanu, the village of Nandagram, was re-inhabited by him. Brahatsanu means the village of Barsana was re-inhabited by Sri Vajranabh. Karyam Rajya Stithistwaya, that you re-inhabited these villages because here Krishna performed his pastimes, here he lived. He could have told him, you re-inhabited Vrindavan, but at the time of Krishna, Vrindavan was a forest, and at that point of time also Vrindavan was the forest. So Krishna lived in these villages, in this village of Nandagram, in Barsana, in Govardhan, in Mathura, and Vrindavan, which is up till today Vrindavan, where everyone comes, where so many pilgrims are coming, that was a big forest where Krishna performed several pastimes. So this is something about the general understanding of Vrindavan or Braj. Braj is including Vrindavan in itself. So Vrindavan is a part of Braj. So Braj is a bigger understanding of the area of Vrindavan.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. This was so comprehensive. So thank you everyone for being with us. We're continuing on. Just so you know, we wanted to conduct this interview in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. It's such an auspicious place. We know it's a little busy here and there's a lot of background sounds as well, but these are all very auspicious and it's part of the ambience that we wanted. Vrindavan is the land of Krishna and we'll come to Krishna. But before we talk about Vrindavan, the land of Krishna, the playground of Krishna, for Krishna to play here, he has to have his devotees here. And we know historically all his great associates and how they loved him, how they lovingly interacted with him. We hear much about this. But we hear also that the saints are also living with us even today. That the saints are not just people of the past, but people who are today giving their hearts, their minds, their full consciousness in service to Krishna. You've lived here all your life. Can you tell us about one special Vaishnava who you've encountered in your life, who touched your heart, who inspired you, whose spotless devotion has been a beacon of inspiration?
It is said that the land of Vrindavan has been wetted by the tears of joy and the tears of separation of the Brajabasis or of the great saints who have lived here and who are still living here. Ye Brajabasi Hari ke pyare. These Brajabasis or these residents of Braj, they are the eternal participants or the relatives of Krishna. Ye Brajabasi Hari ke pyare, they are very dear to Krishna. Ye Hari mein, Hari in mein nishdin. Krishna lives with them and they live with Krishna. Palchin hot na nyare. They are never separated from Krishna. So Vrindavan has so many saints, so many Brajabasis whose great devotion captivates the Supreme Person himself. The great life of one special person whom I have not personally met, but I have just heard about him, was a great grandfather in our generation of Goswamis. He lived such a dedicated life in the service of Krishna and Balaram here that his life was like an inspiration, especially for myself. For example, every single day when he would wake up, the first thing what he did was he would sing the songs how Mother Yashoda wakes up Krishna. This was his usual practice. And actually these songs which we sing in Braj, they are not the compositions of mind. They are the address of the heart. When a person from their heart addresses the Lord, those emotional feelings, when they come out in Braj Bhasha, these are the songs of Braj. So he would sing the morning songs how Krishna is wakened up by Mother Yashoda. After that, he would sing what is Krishna doing while he has to leave for the forest of Braj. Aage gaye, pache gaye, it gaye, ut gaye. That in front there are cows, in the back of Krishna there are cows, on the right hand side of Krishna there are cows, on the left hand side of Krishna there are cows. So he is delving into the same pastimes of Krishna which are eternally happening. During the time of Holi, he would stand up when he had to sing. He would put his hand on his stick because he was old, and he was address Krishna like this. Whenever he would sing, he would move his hand like this into the direction of the deities, into the direction of Krishna and Balaram. It means he was addressing them that I sing this for you, I sing this for you. And when the Holi, the joyful festival of Holi was about to end, he would cry into tears. He would cry, oh, this joyful festival is now ending. All throughout his life, he spent in this village. And when the final time for his life came, that he has to leave his body, he was very sick for some time. And he told his family that if you are my real inheritors, if you are born from my blood, please don't take me away anywhere outside and to any hospital or anywhere. I don't want to go. I want to breathe my last breath here in this village of Nanda Baba. And when the real time came for him that he has to leave his life, he was lying on the bed. He just gets up from his bed, and he starts climbing 2 pairs of stairs of his house. And he comes to the roof of his house, and he looks towards the beautiful flag of Nanda Bhavan. And he just looked towards it, smiled, just raised his hand up like this in the air out of great joy, and he loudly called, Nanda ke Lala ki jai, Nanda ke Lala ki jai, Radha Rani ki jai, Nanda Baba ki jai, Yashoda Maiya ki jai. After calling loudly in this way, he just circled a few times on his roof, and as he came down the same 2 pairs of stairs, the prana of his body started coming out, and when he reached the bed, he left his life. The life of such a, actually we say anyone who is born here in this house in this area of Nandagram or in this village, he had relationship with Krishna for thousands of his lifetimes. Janam Sahasra Hari Rangarache, the one who had connection or a beautiful, colorful connection with Krishna, with Sri Hari, Te Braj Janme Aaye. He gets a birth into the family of Nanda Baba or into the servants of the family of Nanda Baba. Otherwise, it's not possible. So the life of that Goswami, it's always, whenever I think about him, it's like a sincere inspiration for my own self to be that much devoted, to dance for Krishna Balaram, to live for Krishna Balaram, to die for them, to be joyful, to share tears, to share joy just with them. That's the essence of life. What else I can say about him?
Thank you for sharing. And it's actually a very reflective day. Today is the disappearance day of Srila Prabhupada. And now actually we're just seeing ahead of us the sun is going down, and it's said that just when the sun rises it's very beautiful, and it's just as beautiful when the sun sets. So when a Vaishnava appears, it's very beautiful, and even the way in which they disappear from this world is very beautiful. Today we're remembering Srila Prabhupada, and you yourself sent out a message to all of us about Srila Prabhupada, who came here to Nanda Bhavan in 1972. Any reflections on this day of Srila Prabhupada, Nanda Bhavan, his relationship in Braj? He also left. His final desire was to do Govardhan Parikrama, and finally he left translating Srimad Bhagavatam.
Actually, I personally, or the Brajabasis, for us, Srila Prabhupada was in himself a true Brajabasi. A true Brajabasi who went all around the world to give the real sense of Braj to each one of us. Actually, my great-grandfather always said that those who take birth in Braj, they are Brajabasis just in one way. But the real Brajabasis are those who really know what the real meaning of Braj is. The real Brajabasis are those who really teach others what the real meaning of Braj is. And yes, Srila Prabhupada was one of those commanders who left, who was based in Braj, who left Braj to give Braj, to bring Braj to the West, to share to everyone. He didn't go to the West to share some Shiva consciousness or some Vishnu consciousness. He gave our Krishna. He gave our Krishna to everyone. And today, a great amount of devotees, the great number of devotees which we see who are coming into the connection of Vrindavan, a massive contribution is of Srila Prabhupada. When he came here in 1972, he was very old and he was carried in a small palanquin, and he came with His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami, and there are 4 pictures which our great grandfathers also had from that time. They clicked pictures of Prabhupada and they had them, and I personally contributed them into Srila Prabhupada's house. They are included into the album where Prabhupada's pictures are placed. So we, even the Brajabasis, have a very good fond memory of Prabhupada coming and bringing the Western devotees to be Anugatyas, to be the followers of Brajabasis. He taught everyone how to love Krishna the way Brajabasis love Krishna. That was one of the prime most teaching of Srila Prabhupada. So on this day of his disappearance, we don't say that he has gone somewhere, but he has brought so many to us. He has brought so many wonderful Vaishnavas who are following in his footsteps to give this Braj. Actually, Vrindavan is not meant for preaching to the new people. The teachings of Vrindavan are not meant for teaching or preaching a very new people. Vrindavan is meant for preaching the preached. Those who have already been preached, they need to be preached by coming to Vrindavan. So he brought everyone, he preached people outside, and he brought everyone to Vrindavan to get them preached even more.
Boil the milk.
Yeah, to condense the milk even more.
It's a beautiful scene, and it's coming to the evening time. Krishna and the cowherd boys have been out all day, and there's a certain time where they come back to Nanda Bhavan, and Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj are eagerly waiting to receive Krishna. Tell us something about that scene.
It is said that when the sun sets down on the western horizon, the sun looks like a participant in a theater who has completed his role and taking his leave by paying dandavats to Krishna. When the sun goes down, then Krishna remembers that now it's the time to go home. So Krishna climbs up a beautiful kadamba tree and he has a special counting mala, a special counting beads, where he counts the cows and he calls the cows, Kari, Kamar, Dhori, Dhamar, Ab Gharku Bagdaiya, Kadamba Chad Kaan Bulavat Gaiya. Krishna climbs the kadamba tree and he calls the cows, "Oh the blackish one, oh Surabhi, oh Hamsi, oh Davali, oh Mridangamukhi, now we should go back home." And when they are coming back home, Vanadevi or the goddess of the forest of Vrindavan, she feels very sad because she will be separated from Krishna. In the morning when Krishna leaves the village of Nandagram, the Brajabasis are very sad because now they will be in separation from Krishna. When Krishna is coming back from the forest of Vrindavan, the green grass turns yellow from the separation of Krishna. And then Krishna leads the big herd of the cows. Krishna's father had 900,000 cows and they look like a big ship. And Krishna and Balaram, they look like the two captains of that very big ship. And some of the cows are in front, some of the cows are in back. And Krishna and Balaram, they have been beautifully decorated by different gopas by giving them vanashrangar or the decorations from the forest. They use different flowers from the forest. They use different vines to make garlands for Krishna and Balaram. And when the cows move towards the village of Nandagram, they jump up and down and they are scratching the body of Mother Earth. Mother Earth feels so much pain by those scratchings because the sharp hooves of the cows are scratching Mother Earth. But Mother Earth is so satisfied because the very soft lotus feet of Krishna and Balaram are also touching her. She feels so much satisfaction. And when the cows are moving up and down, they raise up a dusty cloud, and the cloud rises up in the air, and the Brajavasis, they come on the roof of their houses and they could see that the cloud of happiness is soon approaching Nandagram. When the dusty cloud falls back on the body of Krishna and Balaram, they seem to have changed color because the dust is coming on their body, and some dust sits on the cheeks of Krishna and Balaram. And one poet has described Nitya Prati Nai Chavi Baran Sake So Kaun Kavi. At each moment, Krishna's form is always changing. And a poet who has immense knowledge of words, a poet can describe anything. A poet, because he has so much good knowledge of words, he can describe anything, but he cannot describe the form of Krishna, which he changes at every moment. After that, the Braj Gopikas, they stand on the roof of their houses, holding flower petals in their hands to welcome Krishna. And as Krishna is coming through the streets of Nandagram, he walks like a mad elephant from one corner of the street to another corner of the street. And when the gopis, they shower these flower petals on Krishna, actually these flower petals are the messages, are the love letters which the gopis have, where the gopis have expressed their invitation or their love for Krishna. As soon as these flower petals, they touch the body of Krishna, the messages get transferred. Today in this modern world, we talk about different messaging systems, WhatsApp messaging system, Instagram messaging system, but Krishna's system of receiving loveful messages is a very transcendental system. As soon as a flower petal touches him, he knows This specific gopi has invited me to this kunja today. When Krishna receives these messages, he never says no to anyone. He makes them excited that today Krishna must be coming to meet me. Nandadas Prabhu kahu sona na kari, kahu sona ha kari. He doesn't say clear no and clear yes to anyone, because he wants that each one of the gopi is excited for me. And at that point of time, Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, they eagerly wait for Krishna to come. Nanda Maharaj does a arti out of camphor to Krishna and Balaram. Mother Rohini and Mother Yashoda take Krishna and Balaram in their lap, and they take Krishna. Mother Yashoda wipes off Krishna's face with a corner of her sari, and then she shows Krishna that throughout the day what I have been cooking for, what all I have been cooking for you. She feeds Krishna, and Mother Yashoda, the size of preparations is very small. For example, in today, if we make puri in the house, we make like this big. But the puris in Nanda Bhavan are very small in size, because Krishna is very small. And he doesn't need to do extra effort to break the puris into pieces so that he can eat it. So he just takes one small puri and he can just eat it. He doesn't have to put extra effort into it by breaking it. Such a loveful relationship, such a devotion of Mother Yashoda and the Brajabasis, which they eternally have for Krishna. When he returns back from the forest of Vrindavan, from the Braj, they feel so happy that now Krishna belongs to us. And just Krishna is about eating something, the gopis come from different houses, and they say to Mother Yashoda, "Oh Maya, our cows are not giving milk without your son. If you bring your son into our house, then only the cows will start giving milk." And when Krishna goes to milk the cows, half of the milk he is putting into the bucket, and half of it he is drinking at that same time. The gopis feel immense joy by seeing Krishna drinking in their houses milk directly from their own cows. Srila Sanatana Goswami writes in his writings that when a jiva leaves his life, when a jiva leaves his body from this world, so he goes, if he is allowed, if he is qualified enough to reach the eternal Golok Vrindavan of Krishna. So the jiva has to wait throughout the whole day. So that when the time of Godhuli, when Krishna returns from the forest of Braj to the village of Nandagram, at that evening time, the jiva is allowed to enter Golok Vrindavan along with Krishna and along with his cows. Srila Sanatana Goswami writes this in his writings.
Such a beautiful description. Krishna's pastimes are Nitya Leela. They're always going on in the spiritual world. They're going on here in Bhoma Vrindavan. They're going on in the hearts of the devotees. So whether you're in London, New York, Paris, wherever you may be, when you come home from work, don't think about all the terrible things that happened in the day, but you can take this description and remember Krishna coming home to Nanda Bhavan in the evening. Thank you so much. Maharaji, the sun is coming down, and I have a few more questions I want to ask you. What is your favorite place in Braj, and why?
My favorite place is the place where I am seated now, where this is the same house of Nanda Maharaj, where Krishna spent 11 years and 52 days of his Prakat Leela, and he eternally plays here in this courtyard of Nanda Bhavan. And it's the place where I have grown up. It's the place where in my whole childhood I have danced, I have played even hide and seek. My own mother and father, they had to drag me in the night, that it's now night, now you have to go to sleep. Don't play around too much in Nanda Bhavan. Even we played hide and seek around this same space. I personally have so many childhood memories which I have spent here, and throughout my whole life I just want to live around this space. That's why, this is my cherished place where I have so much emotions and feeling about.
Beautiful. And how would you like to serve the world? What is your mission? What is your hope for the future?
For my own self, see, I don't consider myself as a missionary man, but I definitely have this in my own heart that I want to really share or give the whole world Braj as it is. I want to give Krishna. I want to share the joy, the little joy which I feel in my own heart, to each one who is looking for, who is hankering, or who is praying for getting in their own life. So this is just, I consider this as an inspiration for my own life, that I have been given something. For example, if I get some gold, it will be a very bad of me if I don't distribute it, if I don't share it with others. One sadhu has said, the real meaning of Braj means to share. Braj means to share. So I wish to share the pastimes, or to share the love or the joy which Braj in real terms has eternally. I wish to share or give it to the others who really desire it. This is just something which I really wish to do.
Beautiful, beautiful. So to all our viewers, when you come to Vrindavan, make sure you come to Nandagram, and when you come to Nandagram, ask for Krishna Murari Goswami. He is eager to meet you and share Braj as it is with you. Swamiji, the final section of this interview is a quick fire round. They say true eloquence is essential truth spoken concisely. So we ask you for one-line answers, whatever comes to your heart and mind. It will be very nourishing for our viewers. What is Krishna's most beautiful quality?
He is the most merciful person ever.
What is your favorite book and why?
My favorite books are many, but one of them is Sri Sur Sagar, or the writing of the blind poet Surdas. He has expressed different pastimes of Krishna. The word Sur Sagar, the name of his book is Sur Sagar, which means the ocean of Surdas. A blind poet, a person who is blind in his two eyes, physically he cannot see anything, and he has expressed, he has written so much in detail about Krishna that only eternal participant into Krishna's pastime can write. So this is a miracle, a living miracle for the whole world. The writings of a blind poet is a very inspiring book for me.
Beautiful. Can you sing us a line of poetry or a shloka which is very dear to your heart?
दास तो तिहारे जो उदास तो तिहारे दूर पास तो तिहारे आम खास तो तिहारे हैं. Shri Surdas sings, he says, "O my dear Lord, if I am a servant, I am yours. If I am a master, I am yours. If I am far away from you, I am yours. If I am very close to you, I am yours. If I am a common person, I am yours. If I am a most unique person, I am yours. If I am very kind, I am yours. If I'm very cruel, I'm yours. If I'm new, I'm yours. If I'm old, I'm yours. पायक तिहारे यश गायक तिहारे. I am, oh my dear Lord, whoever I am if I am from London, if I am from Vrindavan, we all are yours. We are just a beggars at your door. We are just a recipient of your mercy. Payak tihare, we are just beggars at your door. Yashagayak tihare, we the Brajabasis especially, we are the singers of your glories. Yashagayak tihare, ho sahayak hamare, हम पायक तिहारे हैं. हम सहायक तुम्हारे हमारे. You are our greatest supporters. You are the one who support us. You are the force which supports us into our practice of singing of your glories. We are just a recipient of your mercy. We are just beggar at your doors because we just belong to you. Whoever we are just yours, oh my dear Lord.
How can we always live in Vrindavan wherever we are?
Just by hearing or by remembering Vrindavan. Even Srila Prabhupada said, you cannot see Vrindavan through ears, through eyes. You see or we see Vrindavan through our ears. Because our eyes are very defectful, it might see things in a different way, but when we hear Vrindavan through Rasik devotees, through Rasik Vaishnavas, through those who have realized or have comprehended the real meaning of Vrindavan or the real meaning of Braj, then we can access the eternal realm of Vrindavan by hearing from them. There is an analogy which the Brajabasis give. If we have so many green papayas, how to ripe them? How to turn them into yellow or red papayas? A green papaya is very hard. It's not sweet, it's not tasty at all. But a ripened papaya, a yellow papaya or a red papaya is very sweet. So when we have lots of green papayas, we just take a few yellow papayas and we put those yellow papayas into the association of green papayas. Just by the association, just by hearing, the green papayas can turn into yellow papayas. So just by hearing about Vrindavan from the Rasik Vaishnavas, we get something about some knowledge, some emotions, some feelings about the eternal realm of Vrindavan.
In what mood should we chant Harinam?
We chant Harinam that in a mood that we are expressing or we are addressing the same son of Maharaj Nanda. The way how I address Maharaj Ji, the way how I address my own father or mother is the same way how we address by chanting Krishna's names to Krishna himself.
And one final question. We're here in Nandagram, the home of Krishna. If Srimati Radharani and Krishna are having a loving quarrel, whose side are you on?
See, we are there are two types of quarrels or there are two types of angers. The first quarrel, the first anger is known as Kalhaman. The anger generated out of the normal worldly life which we all have. This is Kalhaman. The another type of quarrel or another type of anger is Pranayaman. The anger generated out of love. And the and the motive behind that anger is to please someone. It's not at all to hurt someone. If we, the Nandagram Vasis, we are always on the sides of Krishna and Balaram. No matter what happens, we are on the sides of Krishna. The Barsana Vasis, they are no matter what, they are on the side of Srimati Radharani. I want to share a very beautiful loving quarrel. How does Krishna and Srimati Radharani fight? Because Srimati Radharani is the most dearmost person to Krishna himself. When she is angry, Krishna himself cannot go and satisfy her. So he takes help of either one gopi or one gopa. He sends them, oh Sakha, oh Sakhi, why don't you go and please Srimati Radharani in my name? And when the gopi goes to Srimati Radharani, she starts pleasing Srimati Radharani. She begs to Srimati Radharani, oh Radharani, please be satisfied, don't be angry with Krishna. Srimati Radharani tells, Dori Dori Ave Moiye Manave. Oh Sakhi, why you come running back and forth to please me? Dam Kharach Kachu Mol Lairi. Have you been purchased by someone by paying you some good price that you are doing this, you are trying to please me on behalf of someone else? Achra pasar ke moiye manave. Why are you begging me, like folding your hands? Why are you begging me like this to be pleased? Tere baba ki cheri bhai. Or are you a disciple of someone that you are coming on his behalf and trying to please me? Jari ja sakhi bhavan aapne. Oh Sakhi, just go to your home. Lakh baatan ki ek kahi. I don't like to repeat things 1,000 times. I'm telling you one time. Just go to your house. And at the end, Srimati Radharani makes a very sarcastic remark which touches the heart of Krishna, that he smiles with great joy. She's saying, Nanda dasave chonayame. Srimati Radharani is telling, why is he himself not coming? Why Krishna himself is not coming to please me? Unke payan kachu mehendi gai. Does he have some henna on his feet? Does he have some mehendi? Or henna is the paste which usually the people or ladies, when they put it on their feet, on their hands, so they have to dry it for some time, so they cannot move. So Srimati Radharani is making such a sarcastic remark to Krishna that why is he himself not coming to please me? Does he have some henna on his feet that he cannot walk? And as soon as when Krishna hears this, he smiles, he laughs, and he comes running to please Srimati Radharani. So the anger, the quarrel which Srimati Radharani and Krishna have amongst themselves is not meant at all to hurt someone. It's to please, it's to enhance, it's to create rasa, it's to create a different form of joy between Radha and Krishna's love.
So we could be here all night. This is the purpose of being in Sri Vrindavan Dham, to have Vaishnava Sangha, to have Krishna Katha, and to remember all of these wonderful pastimes which are eternally being enacted. So we invite all of you, please do come to Sri Vrindavan Dham. And any final message for our viewers?
A very good final message which I want to express to all of you is that we all are connected to Sri Vrindavan in some way or the other. We might live in Vrindavan or we might not live in Vrindavan, but we should always pray to Vrindavan that, oh Sri Vrindavan, Sri Vrindavan, Sri Vrindavan, Sri Vrindavan, oh Vrindavan, we might leave you, we might go out of Vrindavan, but oh Sri Vrindavan, you please never go out from our hearts. We might go away, We might be living somewhere in London, New York or in Germany, but O Shri Vrindavan Dham, we belong to you. Please accept us as yours. We belong to you. And we might leave you, but you please never ever leave our hearts. O Vrindavan, you always stay in our hearts. And if you stay in our hearts, that's the fulfillment of our human form of life.
Thank you so much. Please stay tuned. We are going to give you a 360-degree view from the house of Nanda Maharaj. It's a very, very beautiful view where you can see so many of the significant places in Braj. So stay tuned and we'll be taking you on that tour. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.